Welcome to your transit forecast report. This is the piece dealer. I hope you gain the utmost of quality from this report. I usually recommend the natal chart report first, or at least to look at. I definitely recommend it for you. Just seeing you have the north node on the sun, which means that it's a form of being chosen by destiny, or you having a quality in fixed signs of destiny. North node on the sun, moon, or rising. I usually look at rising. You have a Capricorn rising, so you embody integrity and greatness. And then you have a celestial soul, bro. Pretty much a vessel of Jupiter, the king of the gods, which is a really good look. So you are the celestial producer. Okay. If you were born maybe an hour before, it'd be 29 degrees Capricorn. But yeah, should you be born around this time or after, you're a celestial soul. Moon and Aquariuses are the only moon signs I respect. I mean, I love moon in Pisces, moon Aqua, moon Cap, and even moon Sag, but moon Cap, moon Aqua, moon Pisces are the elite soul squadron. Any planets or risings or sun in the last three signs represents elite. So you are, like myself, an elite individual. I have a Capricorn moon, Gemini sun. You have an Aqua moon, Taurus sun. Any of the moons here with the suns in the first four, you are God level shaman. If we were to talk about Shaman King, and Taurus is like the shaman. So I just wanted to share that. Collective individuals such as ourselves are vessels of the entire collective. It's a universal aspect, but unlike other collectives, we express all of that universal facet individually. And whereas I have an individual Taurus rising personality, you have a collective universal God level Capricorn rising. So I just wanted to really speak on that. I can really go more into that in a natal chart report, although you're probably already familiar with your chart. It's just if you wanted like, my perspective on it, highly recommend, especially seeing Mars and Chiron, angelic healing communication linked to the way you take action, which actually is a form of sexual healing. So when your Mars is on someone's Chiron, you heal during sex, or if you have Chiron on your Mars, you're the sex healer. Even though it doesn't have to be physical intercourse, a lot of this could be sapiosexual, mental stimulating, communication healing, or driven through this sexual assertion, or just, assertiveness. All right. That being said, let's look at some relevant dates. Over the next 3 months, we're going to see that the sun comes out of Sagittarius, goes through your first house from the 12th, will now manifest the knowledge of your second house, and then we'll go through Pisces, where we'll have the eclipse, the world-ending eclipse in March. Jupiter in the second house, they gets money. Kylie Jenner is a Capricorn rising with Jupiter in Aqua. Bill Gates has Jupiter in his second house. I've never met anyone who has Jupiter in their second house and they're not rich, or they don't have the capacity to manifest at will. Your soul is linked to this, and this gives you a light vessel. Even though the moon isn't after Jupiter, it was en route to. And so you are a vessel of the king of the gods, but in Aquarius. All right. It represents an advanced understanding of knowledge that you can manifest and expand relative to the quality of your network, which is your net worth, and the knowledge you legitimately have. All right, which is badass, bro, because square your sun now as a Cap rising, the Taurus that you now integrate creatively represents what you're destined to challenge yourself. Taking support in the 11th from those in your community or social support attached to your legacy in order to fully produce. And Jupiter squaring that is going to expand what more knowledge you can add to the quality. And that's where Pluto is getting ready to awaken your soul, my brother. This is huge. Over the next 20 years, Pluto's going to be in Aquarius. Venus is now crossed over. So your heart is being initiated. Every year, Venus is going to do this, but not with Pluto. This is 248 years in the making since the last time it was here. February was the last year it reached 2 degrees, so you got a sneak peek of this, but it's not going to retrograde back into Capricorn. You had since 2008 Pluto awaken your rising, awaken your personality, and this has prepared you now for the soul level of awakening. I use the equal sign system, so your moon falls in the first house, but the way I blend it with Placidus and whole signs is that even though your moon and Jupiter fall in the first house, like my sun in Gemini falls in the first house, as a Taurus rising and you as a Cap, Aqua's your second house, Gemini's my second house. So this is a second house Jupiter, this is a second house moon that falls in the first. Okay, if it was here, this would be a second house moon, but this is a second house moon that falls in the first house. All right, so that means we have quality that we identify with. If you think the peace dealer is my brand, it's what I have, but it falls in the first, so I identify as that too. Except for the sun, this is now your moon. You're going to, it's not really like having your emotions on your sleeve, because I like to believe, even though moon in Caps and moon in Aquas feel feelings, and they can be emotional, I don't believe they can be emotional, but like, we do feel feelings, you know what I mean? It's going to represent how you identify with your own soul, and you're able to express that, and the godly aspect of Jupiter here. Pluto awakened, Neptune, your psychic senses have been pretty much awakened, and this is going to awaken the extreme quality of how claircognizant your soul can now really much more extremely express this. Saturn 2021 to 2023 has already structured this. And Jupiter, since 2021, has evolved this. That was your Jupiter return. So that's like the pool of wealth and knowledge that you had went under construction. Jupiter expanded the pool around 2021. So now you, relative to 12 years from that before, you can now manifest and come into so much more money. Saturn then put cement around the expansion of that pool to now solidify and of course strengthen how much more you can come in through the integrity and the authority of the knowledge you have. And now Pluto is going to awaken this so that you can come into more extreme intensity and frequency of the knowledge you manifest, and the way you monetize that, or convert that to whatever value. Of course, the higher the sign, the more versatile you're able to do so. Now Saturn is in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces is the integrity of your belief systems that, as a Capricorn rising, especially now that it's getting ready to cross 17 degrees, is going to structure and align the integrity of your attitude and divine skill set, third house, around your beliefs. Neptune here has been transcending this since 2012. So as a Taurus sun, you're going to be aware of this by, of course, who is around your circle as it's getting ready to be 300 degrees from your awareness. Who is it that, actually isn't holding you back, because Saturn will weed them out? And how is this integrity of who you keep around you influencing your attitude? This is how we blend both the 11th house from the sun in the third house. All right, see, I give you extra dimensions with this, and I would definitely love your feedback. Now let's look at Aries, because the North Node went over Venus and Chiron went over Venus. So this is putting you in a position to not only unlock your mind and heart since last year, but now to link healing, this original healing expressed through your heart and brain. And this will really have you shift your comfort zone, as was the lesson of the North Node in Aries, around how much more authentic and savage you are comfortable with being. Where do you feel at home being your raw, authentic self, to really let your heart and your mind really, of course, adjust. And that's where the South Node in your 10th house unlocked the social career success in order to support this shift. When I had the South Node in my 10th house, it was the first year I made 6 figures. And that was because, of course, I was unlocking a shift in my career amongst other cycles. So we also want to look at Uranus, that's in your 5th house. It's been innovating this level of creativity that's been integrating Uranus that you've had in Sag. So, of course, Going through the 12th house in Sagittarius is what's going to, relative to last year, January, release and transcend the spiritual beliefs around your vision that you have unconventionally innovated. As this aspect is a supernatural quality of clairvoyance, with which is claircognizant, being able to look at an experience and instantly see into the meaning of it without context clues, aka Virgo, or analysis. All right. And that's going to be weird because, especially with Neptune in the 12th, you're just going to get a feeling or a sense of things without having to, know why. Although your moon is in Aquarius, so you'll understand the knowledge of what's happening, what you're manifesting. And what we want to see is, now that we have done the new moon here, it's relative to Jupiter opposite Gemini. Mercury retrograde is re-evaluating your thought process around previous beliefs, because since then, Jupiter has worked to evolve the creativity around your routine and lifestyle. Everything you began to evolve 2020 when Jupiter went through Capricorn, by 2025 in June, we'll have the conjunction here in your sixth, and we're going to integrate every single thing we did since 2020 in order to harvest and break through 2025 coming into 2026, but it'll start 2025. The reason why that's significant is you've spent 6 years evolving, and now you're going to, coming into next year, translate that integrity of self, Cap Rising, towards the evolution of how you feel sincerely about other people. It's going to level up your relationships, because think about it. You're leveling up your routine. So now you're going to integrate your lifestyle with who you're partnering with, and that's going to bring you up to Libra, where you'll level up your career, complete the evolution cycle, come back around. Okay. Of course, Jupiter moves a sign every year. So in releasing the Sagittarius in the 12th house, this is what's going to adjust your perspective, so that once we step into Capricorn, you're going to release old beliefs about yourself, and you're going to move in that direction. Your perspective has been shifted coming into Capricorn. The squares to Sagittarius to Pisces are going to now take the integrity of beliefs that you have activated since March and harvested in September, so that you can see the completion of how this vision must align with your beliefs. As a Cap Rising, this really speaks of reality warping relative to imagining things and seeing them happen real time. June was where, when Jupiter went through, you were able to now experience a true thought process around a bit of consistency with this versus it just being in your head. And by September, the zodiac sign of the master, you mastered the analytical causality, the detailed understanding of the causality around what you believe and how quickly you're able to manifest through Taurus its existence real time. Okay, so by September, your ability to pretty much create your reality, this is the perks of having a God level rising. You know and understand the knowledge of how it's manifesting. And now Sag is showing you the completion of this, how at this point it should be pretty much effortless. And that's, of course, going to change your vision of yourself and what you can do. Boom, you're stepping into Capricorn season, now in the position to do it. Capricorn season, of course, is going to entail Mars retrograding back into, of course, Cancer. And the full moon that we have is going to be from your first house to your 7th house. So whereas we're going to have the new moon in that 12th house portion and activate a transcendent understanding of who you are behind your ego, activating this Neptunian intuition portal, the full moon is now going to release the assertive actions you're taking towards people and adjusting, because the way you're going to feel about acting with others is shifting, and now how you reflect this awareness of yourself through that. But that pales into comparison to the most important period of the 2025 year, other than the eclipse, this Sun conjunct Pluto, which, you guessed it, bro, it's going to be on your moon. So this is going to not only represent the Plutonian awakening of your soul, but the sun is going to make you extremely aware of what this next 20-year cycle is going to look like, where every year we're going to have some Pluto in Aquarius, and it's going to serve to more supernaturally awaken your soul before it gets to Jupiter and starts to awaken that. I also highly recommend the progress chart report. If you're already familiar with your natal, we can look at how your progress chart has shifted. The progress chart, the sun moves a degree every year. And then, of course, the moon moves a degree every month. So we're able to actually look at the progress lunar cycle relative to the progress sun to see where you're at. In this case, you just started a brand new moon cycle, bro. I highly recommend the reading from this. We look at new moon, full moons. When I had my full moon cycle, it was when I had the south node in my 10th. And that's when I made my 6 figures for the first time. I'm completing that, and I'm getting ready to shift gears. It's so accurate. The moon has literally shifted into a new sign versus last month. So you should probably feel that. And this is representing, relative to the Taurus, a new cycle of enlightenment. So, I mean, it's going to be very exciting, especially with Jupiter here. I just wanted to give you a sneak peek of that, especially with Pisces in your first house. But yeah, once we get through Aquarius, Aquarius is going to not only awaken this identity of your soul, but the quality of how much more value you can manifest. And this, of course, is really going to go a long way relative to how powerfully or extraordinarily, especially with Mercury here, that by the 28th will now feed information and data and knowledge to your soul to come into a much more significant understanding of what's awakening within you. Huge deal. Huge deal. And then, of course, I think the next significant aspect, we have Venus coming through your third, is going to be the eclipse in March, where we're going to have this new moon, February 28th, with Neptune, North Node, Mercury, Saturn, Moon, Sun. This is going to be one of the most significant eclipses in all of human history. It's a world-ending eclipse. It only matches like 2 or 3 other eclipses in most of human history where we had like 2 outer planets involved. And every time that happened, something major occurred in the world. So why that's significant? All that's in your third house, bro. And this, once again, is going to unlock the attitude you have around who's in your corner and who you're winning with. All right. It's going to change your attitude forever because it's unlocking your divine supernatural abilities and skills to imagine and create. This is where you can look at this we transfer. I'm going to include articles. Please look at this ultimate manifestation playlist, bro, because you practicing this, you may already do and not know, you're going to manifest instantly. Okay. It's not really check that out at your own time. Especially because now the North Node and the Sun are going to be sextiling the North Node and the Sun. So this is now a 300-degree angle between both points to your Sun, which is a fulfillment, which is of rewards from career. And this is going to change your attitude and skills around that, which makes it very, very important. The shift in these beliefs will now influence the authentic direction you move forward to set the foundation of how much more comfortable, and you might have to be uncomfortable with Chiron, especially in order to build new comfort zones. All right. So that's really what to expect over the next 3 months. We're going to release with Sag and then activate with Cap, Aqua, and Pisces. The activation is going to set the tone for the rest of 2025, and it's going to prepare for Jupiter at this point to go direct and get ready by June to enter Cancer. So after the retrograde, you have really expanded your idea around how you truly want to level up your lifestyle. And it gets better, bro. Where's Jupiter? Second house to Taurus. So you're going to be aware of this by making more money. Jupiter coming into a 30-degree angle of your sun is going to expand how your ideas make you more wealthy. And the more money you get, that's going to level up your lifestyle. Of course, the more money you get, the more your lifestyle will be enriched. And this is, of course, leveling up your sexual ability, your assertiveness, the enlightened quality of actions, and your healing ability, as healing is attached to your 6th. It's not uncommon for me to see Chiron near the 6th in nurses, physical therapists, coaches. You don't have to have that. We see a Pluto on the MC. So your legacy is, of course, meant to awaken and transform the society around you. That with Saturn, you actually have great authority relative to how it is you express this in relationships, because you came from a past life to unlock all this wisdom, to subpoena people and tell them you got served. You do this in real life. And then, people who thought they could escape past life judgments, you hit them out of nowhere like, see you in court. And you a judge, bro. You're a natural judge. They don't want no smoke with you. You're really good at what you do. All right. I hope you enjoyed this report. Looking forward to your feedback. And until next time, peace.